Guys, back for another movie review. I haven't done a movie review for a while, just been a bit busy, and then also getting over a bit of a cold. Had a cold recently, but in this video I'm going to be reviewing The Fugitive. Now, The Fugitive came out in 1993, 30 years ago this year. It starred Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones, Joe Pantoliano, Julianne Moore very briefly, but essentially Harrison Ford in this movie, I think, did a very good job, plays a vascular surgeon named Richard Kimball, who basically he gets charged with the murder of his wife, who gets her skull crushed in. Now, basically, he gets sentenced to death by lethal injection, even though he claims to be innocent. And then during the prison transfer, he actually manages to escape after the prisoners mount an escape, or they try and fight back against the guards, and then essentially after the bus goes over a cliff, he actually escapes the bus before a train comes through and actually completely destroys the bus. But essentially, then he goes on the run and tries to clear his name. Now, Tommy Lee Jones actually won an Oscar for this movie. He plays the main cop trying to actually catch Richard Kimball. Now, I thought he did a very good job in the movie as an obsessive cop. At the same time, I don't think his performance was necessarily worthy of an Oscar win. I mean, he did a great job, but regardless, this movie had a lot of great suspense, especially a couple of scenes that really, where I was on the edge of my seat, especially when Richard Kimball dives into a dam when trying to escape Tommy Lee Jones's character. Also, a couple of pretty interesting twists and turns regarding why Richard Kimball's wife was murdered, and a couple of interesting scenes where Richard Kimball goes and tries to disguise himself as a means of actually evading the cops. But a lot of foot running in this movie as well, actually, a lot of foot running. This movie was directed by Andrew Davis, who also directed Under Siege, starring Steven Seagal, which is actually probably one of the better Steven Seagal movies. But back to The Fugitive. Look, I thought the plot was very intriguing, a lot of suspense, a couple of interesting twists and turns. A good score as well, a very good score. I'm surprised Harrison Ford didn't actually get nominated for an Oscar for this movie, because I think his performance in this movie was definitely worthy of an Oscar nomination. Didn't get nominated for an Oscar for this movie. But in terms of flaws, the movie didn't drag on. In my opinion, the movie did not drag on. Watching it now, yes, it does feel its time. Like, it does feel like it came out a long time ago. Just the way the way it was shot, and some scenes, but essentially, the movie does sort of feel its age, but at the same time, I think it's aged pretty well. It does feel like an old movie, but at the same time, yes, it came out in 1993, but good movie, a lot of intrigue, a lot of suspense, good acting by Harrison Ford, I thought his performance was very, very good, one of his better performances, in my opinion. In terms of flaws, maybe a couple of scenes slightly dragged on. Would have liked to find out a bit more about Andreas Katsoulis' character, who ends up playing a huge role. Well, his character ends up actually playing a crucial part in the story. I would have liked to learn a bit more about his character, I suppose. But overall, a very good movie. Julianne Moore's in this movie as well. Another flaw, she had very little screen time. There wasn't too much of a need for her to be in the movie, I thought. But regardless, great movie. Go check it out. Classic. Turns 30 years old this year. Harrison Ford is one of my top 10 favourite actors. Not my all-time favourite actor, but he's one of my favourite actors of all time. And I thought he did a great job in this movie. The movie had a lot of suspense, which I mentioned before. Good score as well. Some good good shots in the movie. Good cinematography. A couple of very suspenseful scenes. So go check it out, The Fugitive. I highly recommend it. Stay tuned for more movie reviews very, very soon. Take care, guys. And I might actually post a review of The Last of Us episodes 1 to 6 very soon, or maybe when the show finishes season 1, I'll post a review of that as well. Take care, guys. All the best and stay safe. Bye.